Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Monday tonight's live question and answer session. It's great to be here. This is the first in a series, hoping to do every Monday night, and just starting to ask different questions and see what it feels like to look at different perspectives, look at different answers. So tonight's question that we're going to get into is all about sabotaging and running those sabotaging programs. It is a question that comes up a lot in my coaching. There's lots of people that are saying, I know what I need to do, I know what is the best thing to do, but unfortunately I am self-sabotaging. I'll end up not doing what it is that I said that I was going to do, and any good efforts that I'm making tend to go backwards or sabotage them so that I'm not able to reach my end goal. So that's what we're going to be delving into tonight. Finding out what's going on. Why is it when we know what it is that we need to be doing to step towards our goals, why is it that we don't do those things? Why is it that we put something in the way or sabotage ourselves so that we don't get there? So it'll be great to hear anything that you've experienced. I'm going to be jumping back on off from, I'm doing this live on my phone, and I'm going to be going onto the computer as well with questions, because on my page it'll show me the comments that are coming up at the time. So we'll be doing this kind of backing forward thing tonight. So if you're joining us live, that's great, welcome. If you don't know, I am Nikki Turner. I'm a holistic coach in the Edinburgh Midlothian area. I have been running workshops, courses for lots and lots and lots of years. And for years, I hadn't defined myself as a holistic coach. I've used all different teacher, spiritual advisor, heart connector, soul connector, all these things. And earlier this year, I recognised that the work that I do is on the body, mind, spirit, body, mind, and soul. And what I've always done from a very young age is coach. So encourage people, support people, see people's potential. That's the potential that lies in them, and I've always been able to mirror that back to the individual. So that's what I have been doing for many years now, and my business is doing exactly that. It is about looking at things from different perspectives. It's about mirroring things back to people to look at it from that different angle. So when I got asked this question about sabotage and why we do these things, the first time I got asked it, it made me think about it. Now I've had it asked, I don't know how many times, so many times, and it's something that many people seem to experience. So how can I stop sabotaging my good efforts? Well, first of all, the best thing to do is recognise what programs are you running, and what do I mean by that? So I believe that our mind is an amazing thing that stores information, that stores programs. And by programs, I mean when X happens, I do Y. So when somebody says something to me that I disagree with, I behave in this way. It triggers these feelings inside me. And we have lots and lots and lots of programs. There is so many. I've said before, we have between 40,000 and 70,000 thoughts a day. And each of those thoughts can trigger a program, they say by the time we get to the age of 3, we've already programmed most of our mind of how we're going to react and respond to certain things. So where people can do the exact same thing, they can program and one person deals with it in one way and another person deals with it in a completely different way. That's to do with their programming. So our programs are things that we create, something that the mind creates in order for what the mind thinks to keep us safe. So we can create programs that will stop us from reaching our potential. We can create programs that make us feel down or depressed. I believe we have programs. We can have a depression program. We can have other mental diseases programs inside of us. Now, the difference between a program and who you are is the program is contained within the mind. Who you are can be completely different. That's why sometimes we can feel a certain way. We can feel really excited about a project, have lots of momentum, have lots of drive. But when it comes to a certain stage, we cannot do what we said we were going to do. We can let somebody down. We can let ourselves down. That part is the program part. It's the part that takes us away from our truest potential, the part that takes us away from our natural settings. And I talk about that in the I Code, our natural settings of wholeness, our natural settings of happiness, of love, of strength, of compassion, all of these things. Anything that takes us away from those feelings is a program that we've created as a mindset, a state of mind that we are moving into that takes us away from that. Now, when we talk about programs, some programs are really helpful that the mind create, like my cup of tea. I know that this is boiling hot water and it's hot, so do not spill it. We have programs that tell us don't run into the middle of a road because you could get knocked over. We've got these programs, and that's basically what the mind is here to do, is to keep us safe, is to log information for us. But sometimes the mind can get a wee bit carried away and it can start logging programs that might serve us when we were a lot younger, but actually don't serve us anymore. So this is where the sabotaging program can come in. And when we recognise that it's a program, and it's not you doing it to yourself, because a lot of our sabotaging behaviours can feel illogical. Like we have a lack of understanding as to why we would do that. Why would we not do what we said we were going to do? Why would we perhaps not behave in a way that makes us want, or how we want to portray ourselves, or how we want to connect with other people? When we know in our hearts that that's what we want to do, we know in our hearts that that's the next step to take, and we don't do it. And that's why it is illogical, because it's a program that you've created, maybe even when you were 2 and 3, maybe as young as that you just keep playing. You get to a certain stage in your efforts, you get us to a certain stage in your goal, and all of a sudden this program comes in. So when we can recognise that this program is not who we are, we then are back in control. So instead of letting the sabotaging program have control and drive us off course, we can go, right, okay, this is a program that's playing here. Because it's not connected, it's not aligned to my heart, it's not aligned to my vision, it's not aligned to my mission or my purpose or the thing that I really want to achieve in my life. So because it's not aligned to it is that program. So the first step is awareness. If we have that awareness that something is playing out that is not coming from our heart center, then we can do something about it. So the first thing to do is, when you're looking at it, have a look at your goals before and what has come in. When does the sabotaging program play? Is it when you get a lot of praise? Or is it when you start to step into the public eye a little bit more? Or when is it that you can when you're in your goal and in your moment of it, sort of the connections going weird, bring into the momentum. Where is it this starts to stop you from doing what it is that you want to do? And when you can look at that and you can see that pattern, you can recognize it for the time. It may well be when you get yourself, you feel judges you harshly, even questions like, why are you doing that? That can then trigger our programs. So when we're aware of those things, we can then take the driving wheel off the program and say, nope, I'm doing it this time. Oh, hi, Cara. It's lovely to see it. It's nice to see that people are popping. Because, as I said, we were having a bit of technical issues. So yes, Cara, do you have any questions around sabotaging your efforts? Do you see a pattern? Or are you okay? Are you able to get those goals? Can you give us a bit of insight or wisdom to help us through? So once we're able to recognize and have the awareness, that's the first step, then we can decide what we're going to do with the program. We can look at whether or not we're going to engage with it and play the program, or we can decide to press the stop button. And that's what people don't realise. We think that we've got to sit and reprogram our minds or do a 10-step plan or do something in order to be able to change that. You just press stop. If you were going in a car and going in the wrong direction, you would just stop the car. You would stop the car, work out where you are and get back en route. So that's the amazing thing with this. You're able to do that any time. Now, what happens when you are not quite aware yet and the program's playing, self-sabotage is coming in and you're starting to see those habits? Say you've got a health goal and you have decided that you're going to exercise every morning. You're going to go for a walk or go for a jog or do a bit of crazy dancing, and you're doing that every single day. And you're starting to see those results. Then all of a sudden, you wake up one day and you go, I'm not feeling like it. I'll not do it today. And you give yourself a lot of excuses or reasons as to why you are not doing it. And you don't do it that day. And then the next day comes and you go, oh, I'm still not feeling 100%. I'll get into it tomorrow. And then that tomorrow becomes Monday. We all know the Monday thing. We're always going to do everything on a Monday. So then Monday comes and goes and you're still not doing it. And then you go into a program of beating yourself up. I'm useless. What's the point? I always give up. I never complete everything. And we're running these over and over and over again. So what happens in those times? What can we do then? You can press the stop button. The program can be stopped at any moment and at any time. Okay? A lot of the time, what we need to do is change our mindset. And the best way to do that is move, okay? When I work with my clients, when they're playing out a program and I'm recognising the program that we've perhaps talked about before or identifying, but their habits are bringing them in the program. Sometimes at times I'll just say to them, okay, stop, take a breath, and I'd like you to stand up and shake. Like literally, shake, jiggle, shimmy, whatever it is. Just get that body moving. Because what that does is, the program is the mind. It's just playing what it already knows. It's like watching a really rubbish program, like certain ones that are called soaps. And you go into that mind-numbing state. So you press stop, you recognise the program, you press stop, and you just shake it off. You shake your body, and that changes your mindset from playing the program to saying, oh, what should I do now? What program have I to play now? And it's busy looking through the index of all your programs. And what you find is, when you move your body, you go into a program of your cells coming alive. So at a cellular level, you're actually shifting. You're shifting your mood, you're shifting your state. And that gives you a better chance to be able to turn the program around, to play a different program that serves you to say, right, actually, I'm going to do that exercise routine this minute. I'm not going to wait till Monday. I'm not even going to wait till the morning. I'm going to do it now. Even if I just listen to the music that gets me in the mood, even if it's just that I walk through it, whatever it is, to be able to reset the program and create one that better serves you is something that can get us out of our self-sabotaging old programs and old habits. Because remember, a program only comes in when we repeat something over and over again, or we learn something over and over and over again. So it may well be that you have learnt that giving up is an easier option, or completing something is stressful. And when you tell yourself that, you're in a program of sabotage. So again, self-empowerment is always about knowing thyself. The more you know yourself, the more you are aware of yourself, of your mind self, your body self, your spirit self, the more empowered you become. So I have my own sabotaging programs that I recognise, and it's been through doing these practices of awareness, of moving myself, of reprogramming, that has really shifted things for me. I was a procrastinator in my business, in my work. So it was long, being on Facebook for a long time, or meeting people, or anything rather than kind of getting down. And I recognised it was because I love my work, and I had a limiting belief that work is to be hard, it's to be a slog. You don't really enjoy your work, it's something that just pays the bill. So when I had that belief, when I was going into a work state, my mind was telling me, oh, this is going to be a slog, this is hard work, what are you doing? And a self-sabotaging program would come in and play. Until I caught myself and I thought, I actually really enjoy my work. Especially admin and accounts. I've always really enjoyed numbers. I've enjoyed organising things and putting things into certain piles. A little bit Monica from Friends. Not that bad. I don't have a ribbon drawer. But in my mind, I like to be, I always have folders. I remember when I was at school in English, I'm going to go into a wee story. I was sitting beside a friend in the English class, and I would have in my folder different tabs for the poetry part, different tabs for our reading book that we were on, our own stories, all the different sections. And at the very back, I would have a tab for her work. And I would keep all our work together and hand it all out and things. So when I remembered, I actually quite like admin. But you hear all the time people saying, oh, I don't like admin, I don't like bookkeeping, I don't like numbers. So that was drilled into me. So I was like, oh, I don't want to do that. Actually, when I get into doing it, I enjoy it. I know, a bit weird, but there's got to be some people that enjoy that type of thing. So yeah, when I get on to do with my work, I recognised that that programme was playing, and I would be on Facebook for ages, not get round to anything. But as soon as I did, I would complete so much work in a very short space of time because I was really focused and engaged. So when I recognised that the sabotaging programme that I was running was actually a bullshit story, a bullshit belief that I was telling myself over and over and over again, I was able to connect with it a lot more, connect with my work and really enjoy my work, and recognise that that programme of work is hard, it's a hard slog, you're not supposed to enjoy it, no longer served. So I was able to stop the programme, and a lot of the times I would put on some inspirational music or watch an inspirational little video, and my mind would just start going with ideas and how to put it forward and to get it down on paper, having different steps of what I needed to do in order to bring it into reality. And when I started doing that, and running a different program, that program began to stick. So now when I go to do my work, I no longer play the program of self-sabotage. I play the program of focused work that is enjoyable, that I work through my to-do list. I don't get overwhelmed by it anymore. I enjoy each step because I know that each step takes me to where I need to be. So that has been my little tips about the sabotaging program. And we have many programs that we run. The sabotaging is just one. But do remember that you are not the sabotager, okay? You're not self-sabotaging yourself, because that's when we can get confused and we don't understand. It is the program that you're playing in your mind, and your mind is a different aspect of who you are, of your I am. Your mind would like you to believe that it is the human being, okay, but it's not. It just likes to think that. So it likes to think that it's in control. It likes to think that it is you. I kind of see the mind a bit like, those artificial intelligence androids, where they're so sophisticated. They can have emotional intelligence, they can have intellect, they can have all of these different parts, but what they don't have is the soul. What they don't have is the human being element to it, is the I am. And that is what is different. So sometimes when our robot brain likes to take over us, we just have to say, actually, you're not in charge of me. You've not got the steering wheel. You're not running the show here. I am. I decide where it is that we're going. And also be thankful for the knowledge it holds. Thanking it for the programs that it was running that perhaps did serve you in the past but no longer serves you now. And being able to do that gives you some clarity. It allows you to recognise that you no longer have to be in that headspace and trying to work it all out. You can just be in a heart space. And anytime you come away from that truth that you feel passionate about, and you come into a lackluster place or demotivated, or can't be asked, all of these things is a program that is taking you away from your truth. And all you have to do is press that stop button. Okay? So if you're able to see that now, if you're able to see and recognise, oh, I've got a program running here and a big massive stop button in front of you, and you hit that stop button and you say, no, I'm not going to run that program anymore. I'm going to come back to my vision. I'm going to come back to my truth. I'm going to come back to that pool of where it's taken me on this journey, back on course. Then you recognise that the self-sabotaging program stops playing. Or if it does play, you can pick it up really easily, or it's on really, really, really low. And once you get to that space, once you get to that time where you've got that awareness and that recognition, there is no stopping you. That is when self-empowerment really starts to push through, and you're able to connect with yourself, with your work, with your mission, with your purpose, whether it is to be healthier, whether it's to start your own business, all of these things, it's all there for you. So I hope that's been able to give you a little bit of insight, and some tools as to how to work through that self-sabotaging programs. If you have any questions on this, you know where I am. You can contact me. You can certainly comment on this feed, and we can have a chat about it a little bit more, go into it in a wee further depths, or there could be something specific or specific self-sabotaging program that you're playing. Then yep, happy to talk about it here. And also feel free to private message me or email me at nikki-turner, nikki@nikki-turner.co.uk, or pop onto my website. If you would like a coaching conversation to work through it, then get in touch with me as well. There's always different intricacies that these programs play, and I, for one, I like to get the investigator on and have a look at it. So if you are struggling with the awareness around perhaps a self-sabotaging program, then I'm more than happy to go into it with you a little bit, and yeah, let's investigate it together. Let's see what's actually happening from a place of curiosity, from a place of witness, from a place of interest. Because remember, there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with us. There's nothing wrong with you. It's just a program that you've picked up, and it's certainly one that you can stop playing. You're completely in the power to be able to do that. So, thank you everyone who has joined tonight and everyone who is watching this video back. I'm hoping that the connection was okay. It's come up a few times this week. In the next couple of weeks, I'm happy to say that we are going to be getting stronger broadband, which is always good. I stay in Edinburgh, just outside of Edinburgh, in a town called Pennycook, and they're a wee bit behind on the internet connections, which is not great for live videoing and streaming, especially when you've got a house full of teenagers who also like to do their Snapchats and watch their videos and whatnot. So, thank you for joining. Thank you for still being here when my video was all fuzzy. It has been an absolute pleasure to connect with you all tonight, and I will see you again next Monday. If you have a question, if you have a burning question that you want to delve deeper into, you can certainly message me. You can do it anonymously, or you can do it out there, and we will work through it together. So thanks again, and I hope you have a good night. See you later. Bye.